Obviously, you've got a fight coming up, Bellator. For us, it's only a week away. So you must be into the last bit of your training now.
I'm just couldn't wait now and that. I did my last hard sparring yesterday, and so I'm just making weight now. I'll do a bit of technique this week, and that's it. Really, just resting up.
We were speaking to another fighter earlier who again has just finished their last hard spar before they were, and I asked him, so what does this week entail for you then, other than sort of the misery of knowing you can't eat and drinking lots of water? What sort of last little touches do you put in?
I don't mind the weight cut, me. I've been eating clean for like 8 weeks now. My cheat meals consist of having a steak and vegetables, so I don't really mind this. I've only got another couple of days really to start eating again, so it doesn't bother us. But this week I just try and get my mind right and just work on like last little bits of game plan stuff and that, and do lots of visualization and things like that.
Now, I think it's fair to say that your last performance at Bellator, you weren't overly enamored with. You weren't impressed with yourself.
I kind of. I don't want to make excuses, I've got people, like, I've got loads if you want to hear them. Alright, I fell at the top of, I watched all of his, because he's a great competitor, I watched all of his videos and that, and I kind of worked out a game plan and was waiting for him to do stuff that he'd never done, and then I ended up just waiting, and so, because every fight I've seen him do, he pushes you against the fence, like, he's supposed to be wild, pushes you against the fence, and then takes you down and tries to grind you that way and that every single fight I've watched him do. So I was waiting for him to come in. I was going to circle off and catch him on their exit, and he was jumping in, throwing 1 or 2 and then jumping back out. Yeah. It was like, it wasn't the best fight to watch either, but like, I was still throwing, but mine more like peppering with my jab and stuff like that and trying to keep the range while he was jumping in with a big shot and then jumping back out. It wasn't like it was a close fight still, it just looked like he was trying to win it and I wasn't.
What positives do you take? There must be things that you can take from that performance. It's a tough question to ask, I suppose, because you were like, but what can you take that's helped you for this camp?
I learned about it's about putting my game plan on people rather than waiting and watching what they can do. It's a tough lesson to learn, but as long as you learn something, it's not a problem, is it? But that's what it is. I'm like a big, strong featherweight, and like why am I boxing like amateur boxer and like moving on the back foot and peppering with a jab? I should be letting them feel how strong I am and moving forward and hitting them with my big hands. So I've learned that. So this time I've had a watch of my opponent and I've seen what he's good at, so understand, but I haven't like sat and studied him like every day like I was my last one. I've had a watch him, I've seen what he can do, be aware of it, and I want to put what I do on him.
Your opponent is Saul Almeida. I think I've said that right. I think he's 13-5 now.
Yeah.
For the UK MMA fans, kind of suppose like when the UK fighters go out to the States, you're kind of the names that people haven't heard of so much. Yeah. What can you tell us about Saul? I mean, I know he's got a 13-5 record, but what do you know about him?
He's very experienced. He's tall. He's like 6'1", 6'2", which is really tall and gangly for a featherweight as well. He's a good grappler. He's had pro boxing fights as well. But he just looks really well. All tall people are really awkward, and you've got to work hard to get in there and get your shots off, haven't you? So I've been getting my fitness is good. I've been pushing it every time I've been sparring, and I've been sparring with like taller guys and that here and that, and I've got some good guys back home as well. Like I've done a lot of Colin Fletcher and the Kurt Warburton and that back home, who were obviously the bigger and stronger than this Saul Almeida is going to be. But I've been sparring with some of the best people in the world. He's not going to do anything to us.
Yeah, again, the confidence sounds absolutely top. Is this fight going the distance?
No, I'm prepared if it does. Like you've always got to prepare for that. But I'm looking for the finish.
And how important is there any kind of personally? Is there any kind of validation for this fight? Do you want to put a stamp on this performance for Bellator?
I see the last performance. It wasn't really. My last one wasn't really all that bad, It was just it didn't.
Far beyond. I promise, I'm not saying that. But again, because you were down about you after you got out. You weren't 100% happy. Is this?
Yeah.
How important?
Like you say, he's got to. This like I've got to show people what I can do, and so I can mix with like the best in the world. And I know I can. It's just obviously now it's got to transfer over in front of everybody, hasn't it?
And again, with a fight like this, I presume you've been given certainly a multi-fight offer with Bellator. Is this kind of is this a make or break fight, or right now is the contract secure and you can not worry about that?
They've never said anything, but you're assuming if I go 0-2 in Bellator, they're probably not going to have us back for another one either. So, but I'm not trying to think about that, It just puts more pressure on yourself and that. Like, I think that's what I done my last fight as well. I kind of put a lot of pressure on myself. I was doing it this camp as well, and I kind of just sorted myself out last week. I was finding I was getting I was obsessing every second of every day, I was thinking and because I always think loads and I do lots of positive thinking stuff and I write stuff down about my training and that. But this time I was just constantly obsessed with my opponent and everything, and I was getting to the point where I was making myself nervous every second of the day. I was going to the gym, I was really nervous and that, and I kind of give my head a shake. It was only the other day actually. I thought, enjoy it. That's why I used to do. That's why when I used to fight, I used to enjoy it. And then when you start getting a bit better, and people start looking up you a bit more and that, and especially in your hometown, I teach kids back home and stuff and that, and you kind of give that pressure to yourself because you think you don't want to let people down, and you stop enjoying it and you start being scared of getting beat. It's not about that. If you didn't enjoy it, you wouldn't do it anyway, would you? So, and then I just literally had a little conversation with myself like that, and I sorted my head out, and I went back to enjoying it and being happy. I'm still doing all my stuff. I'm still learning every day and that, but there's a time to switch off. Because since I've been here, for the 2 weeks I've been here, I wasn't watching any films or because it's like a prison camp really. You train, you come back and you sit in your room, all day. Everybody's nice, but there's not really much to do because you're just tired and you just want to get yourself ready. But I wasn't watching any films, playing any games or anything. I was just sitting thinking about my fight constantly. And now since I've done that, I'm sitting. I'm going to watch a film. I mean, I can switch up. Because I was obsessing every second, and it was it's kind of making us more stressed, but I feel good now. I've sorted myself out.
You sort of, us non-fighters, we hear about things like the octagon jitters or the cage jitter, and Bellator, let's take nothing away from the events that you've appeared on. Bellator is one of the top 2 or 3 promotions going. Do you think there was something of that in the first time you stepped out of the cage, or is that just an excuse?
No, that's what I was saying. Any excuse is an excuse to quit, really, isn't it? It's but it didn't really bother us. I didn't I was going to get nervous. I felt a bit nervous, and even when I was in there, I was just I say, I was just waiting about too much for him to do his thing. But even my whole training camp, every time I sparred, I was sparring, waiting for people to come in. You know what I mean? I was specifically given and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Unfortunately, he didn't do what I wanted him to do, what he was meant to do. So.
He didn't read the script, apparently.
Yeah. So he gave him a different one. But that's all. He caused with some nice shots. I hit him with some alright shots as well. It's just one of them things. It just happens. It wasn't I wasn't dominated or anything. It was probably close. Probably on the front that there wasn't a lot happened. You know what I mean? Rather than the fact it was like a slugfest. But.
It's we watched the Bellator. It was on Viva over here. We got the UK fans got a chance to see it. How can we watch your fight this time? Because funnily enough, I can't find it on Viva.
Spike.com. I think they show that I'm on the prelims this time, and Spike.com shows the prelims. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's 1 o'clock in England time.
Wonderful.
1 o'clock.
They're making it hard for us UK fans to follow the UK fighters over there at the moment. But, you must have a team back here that you want to give a shout-out to and some sponsors that you'd like to thank to get you ready for this fight on Friday. Who are they and what have they done for you?
My sponsors first is Bad Boy Europe, Grapple Fit, Frontline Training, and Body Zone in Sunderland. Obviously, there's helped us out loads and that, so making it possible for us to come out here as well. All my training partners back home, NVT, TFT, my coaches back home, Davey Hall, Barry Gibson, and obviously everybody in America in the MMA lab, John Crouch and Sheehan Nico, and all the lads who's helped us train and that.
Is that